The next segment of our program is going to be led by Pat Schuman, who is right here next to me. We're going to start with a video about something we call scooter grants at the Children's Museum. So let's roll the video and then begin the program.
My name is Kate and I'm 9 years old. I applied for the scooter grant because I don't really get to see all these friends together all the time. I see them separately, so I wanted to see them all come together and do something all together at once. With this grant, kids will learn how to plant fruits and vegetables. I'm really excited to see kids come together and plant and work together and do things together to get to know each other more.
Can you welcome your friends?
Welcome today, and we're going to be we're going to be planting a couple seeds, moving dirt over into the plot, and making stepping stones. I started this project because there's one kids' garden in this area, but not a lot of kids come and take care of it. So I was thinking if we had kids around the neighborhood, maybe they would all come together and plant a garden as one. I've learned to be a leader from this project. I'm so excited to see kids plant together and be a team. Thank you so much for supporting me in my project.
Wow, right? So this is the second year that the Children's Museum has been fortunate to award scooter grants to organizations in the community. These are small grants for projects that cultivate child-centered communities in unexpected and new ways in Pierce County. They're aspirational in nature, and the goal is to help support new projects and inspire more new projects. The projects are funded by South Sound Together, which has been a generous provider of funds for these, and the Children's Museum awards the grants. So the 2018 scooter grant recipients are Kate Grayum, who you just met on the video and who is with us today on stage. Amara. If the recipients are in the room, would you stand, please? So Amara received a grant, Booked with Hilltop received a grant, Celebrate You Foundation, Salishan Reads, Tacoma Public Library, and Soda Bots. Let's say congratulations. So these grants fund a wide variety of projects. For example, welcoming spaces for children, like a book nook, which is what Booked with Hilltop did. Or the traveling mural that Amara did. It's in the entryway today, you may have noticed it. That mural was painted by foster families, and it was facilitated by Amara. Another category of projects was expanding STEM programs for children. The Tacoma Public Library purchased Cubetto learning toys, and Soda Bots was able to purchase a second robotics kit. Another category was gathering and celebrating children. Kate Grayum's Community Garden, Celebrate You Foundation purchased equipment to host birthday parties for foster families. Salishan Reads built and replenished the Little Free Libraries in their neighborhood. You can read more about all of these grants in your program. So it says here we have to congratulate everyone, and we just did that. So thank you again for your creativity and your dedication to projects for a child-centered community. So the Scooter Grant application program period is open right now, and there's application information in your programs, and we hope to have lots and lots of applications for the coming year. Thank you. So, Now we're going to move into our first children's panel. And today we're focusing on children who are making changes in our community. And with me on stage today are Scooter Grant recipient Kate Grayum and her mom, Jenny Grayum, and local changemaker and entrepreneur Samara Canley and her mom, Atiya Canley. We just saw a little video about Kate, and some of you may have seen Samara on a piece about her on Q13 in February. She's quite famous in her own right. So let's start by getting to know you girls. So Kate, can you tell us how old you are, what grade you're in, where you go to school?
My name is Kate Grayum. I'm 9 years old in 3rd grade at Browns Point Elementary School.
My name is Samara, and I'm 8 years old, and I go to Geiger Montessori School, and I'm in 2nd grade.
So Samara, do you want to tell us about your project?
My project is called Arts and Hearts.
Arts and Hearts.
And I help the homeless by making bracelets to use the money to make care packages for the homeless. And
so you're making care packages for the homeless, and you make bracelets and sell them, so you have funds to buy the materials for the care packages. I happen to be wearing a bracelet today, this lovely bracelet. Do you have any of those bracelets here with you today?
yes, I do. I have a bunch.
Yeah, that's great. Are they for sale?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay. So Kate, tell us about your project.
My project is about gardening with kids in the neighborhood who may not know each other, and we're planting vegetables, starts, building a lettuce wall, and making stepping stones.
So, ladies, what made you want to do these projects?
What made me want to do my project is when I was a little bit younger, about like 4, I went to this pageant, and there was this lady, and she came up on stage, and she was from the food bank, and she talked about the importance of giving to the food bank and homeless, and that inspired me. And I've also seen people on the streets, and when I was 5, I knew how to read, and I just wanted to do something about it.
Wow. And what were you trying to accomplish?
I was trying to accomplish because in my school, a lot of these kids didn't know each other, even though they lived really close to each other. And so I wanted to bring them together so they can know each other and have fun.
Thank you. So you have your moms with you today. Can we hear a little bit about how your moms helped you? Oh, you can tell us, Kate. We'll give her a chance to talk in a minute.
So my mom helped me by counting up all the receipts at night and making sure I stayed on budget with all the things that we bought for the garden.
How did your mom help you?
My mom would, with the ends of the bracelets, like she would like take her fingers and she would burn them, and then she would like put them together. And also she is running my account, and
So she's your accountant
my
too?
website.
So part of the process of making the bracelet is that it involves matches, I guess, right? You have to burn the ends of the rope so it doesn't ravel.
Yes.
And didn't your mom burn her fingers?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. So moms, what would you add about how you helped with these projects?
I think for me, it was just being there to support Kate and encouraging her, and in the beginning, bringing her the scooter grant opportunity and putting it in front of her and asking her if this is something she was interested in. And then learning to step back and letting her run the project. And so I thank the Children's Museum and the scooter grant for that opportunity for her to say, what would I do with $500 and how would I bring kids together and what do I want to use those funds for? And hopefully, just being a support for her throughout the project. And we're still going, so we have a whole season of growing ahead of us.
Atiya?
I think for me, when your child comes to you, especially at the age that she came with this big idea, was kind of like taking a breath, because I have another child and a newborn, and so kind of like, okay, how are we going to do this? But just trying to support her in any way and shape that I can throughout the process has been something that's been big for me.
So Samaya and Kate, sometimes you can have a really good idea and you know it's really good and you think you can do it, but sometimes it turns out that it might be harder than you thought it was going to be. Did you run into any obstacles?
Yes. At the beginning, I didn't know what I was going to do for the project or how I would raise money. And one of my mom's ideas was, hey, we can write these notes so we can ask for donations and money. And I did not like that because
Did everybody hear that? Atiya's idea was to write notes to ask for money, and you did not like, what did you not like about that idea?
I did not like about the idea was because I had to like write a bunch, and I was 5, so.
And you were just 5.
Yeah, I was 5.
And that would take a long time. And I think you told me you didn't like your writing very much either at the time.
No.
Okay. So that was a challenge because you had to come up with an idea that worked for you.
Yes.
And what happened?
And I tried a lot of things, and finally bracelets was the only thing that worked.
So you told me that when the letter writing idea came up, you didn't like it so much that all you wanted to do was go watch TV.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But when the bracelet idea came along, what happened?
I was more open to it because it fit in my personality.
Great. Okay. So what was the challenge for you, Kate?
One of the challenges.
Yeah, just hold it like that.
One of the challenges for me was that I had to stay within the $500 when we were trying to get all the stuff to help, like with the snacks and the activities and the plants, and counting up all the receipts at night and then typing it so I could remember how much I had left.
So managing the money, and it sounds like maybe it was a lot more work than you thought it would be. So let's go to the flip side. What's the thing that you're proudest of and that you like the most about your project?
I'm really proud of that now those kids that we invited know each other because they didn't know each other even though they go to the same school, and that now they can show their families how much fun they had and that they know each other now.
Nice. And what are you proudest of?
I'm proudest of that at the end of the day, I've helped a lot of people, and I want to continue to do that every year.
Samaya, did you bring an example of the food, of the bags that you, we saw some of the gardening activities, but can you show us what's in it? How many of these bags have you put together?
About like 100,000.
1,000. So what's in these bags? Maybe, Atiya, you want to say what the things are, and you can show.
So this is a sample of one of the care packages. She also does food packages as well. This is rain ponchos, a pair of fleece gloves, hand warmers, emergency blankets, which you can put inside of sleeping bags or whatever you might have, Band-Aids, shampoo and conditioner, toothbrushes, combs, toothpaste, and that's a shampoo, soap, and normally we also do socks in there as well, but we ran out for this sample pack.
We had a really big project this year, so.
Thank you. So how are you two different because of these projects?
Well, I feel like Kate is, or I feel like
Yeah.
this has helped me grow by, learning how to speak to open people, because at my school I tried to do a performance for the younger kids because my friends really wanted me to do it, and I worked really hard, and I couldn't speak in front of them.
She couldn't speak in front of people. She was going to do a performance for younger children, but she was too shy, right? And what's different now?
Now I'm open to speak to anyone, or almost anyone,
And here you are speaking to, what, 300 people?
Mm-hmm. And now this year, I'm going to do it again, except this time I'm going to make it better.
Good. Going to do it again and make it better. Kate, how are you different?
It helped me grow by now that I can have those kids and we can all play together instead of all of them just wondering who everyone is, and then they all know each other, so now I can play with them all at once.
So you created a little community in your neighborhood. And moms, what has this done for your families?
Well, everyone in our family is a part of this project. This isn't just Samaya's thing. This is her little sister actually helps put things together in the packets and has been doing that since she's 2. And now she wants to start her own separate project. Her school actually, her preschool teacher does homeless lunches, and so now she's going to try to raise money to help provide oranges for those lunches. Also, I think my husband wears his bracelet everywhere he goes and sells lots of bracelets on Samaya's behalf. It's just really made us come together around what she's passionate about, and I think that in ways it's helped us discover what we're passionate about.
Jenny?
For our family, we are fairly new in our community. We've only been there a couple years. And we realized with busy lifestyles and schedules that we weren't able to be out in the neighborhood. And so kids maybe knew each other at school, but we realized kids didn't really know each other in the neighborhood, and they didn't know each other because they were in different classes. And what we learned is there were kids in our neighborhood who weren't even in our school. And so by asking kids to come in walking distance to a place where they can just be, and for the parents to step back and let the kids just be in their community, in the grass, digging and in the dirt, was awesome. And I think for me, we're not only getting to know other people in our neighborhood, but to watch the kids build that friendship and that community. It will continue to help us grow in whatever we do in that neighborhood. It's awesome.
Thank Thank you. So these people are here today because they care to make our community more child-focused, because they believe that children are citizens too, and that we should consider them and include them when we make important decisions about how we live and how we design parks and schools and playgrounds and stores and businesses and things like that. And so this is a great audience for you to, if you want to, maybe you have a suggestion or two for them about what would make your community more child-centered.
What would make the community more child-centered is where they could actually ask kids, like, because there's kids out there who have amazing and wonderful ideas, and that might benefit our community, our schools, anything.
So ask kids for their ideas. Kate, what suggestions do you have?
I think a suggestion would be to go out there and help kids with their ideas and then support them in it and then step back and let them handle it.
Step back. Thank you. Well, we don't often get to be in front of all these people with a mic. Does anyone have anything else they'd like to say?
I just really want to thank my parents because they sometimes do step back in part of this project, but they are really supportive and they help me do a lot of things, and they make me me.
Yeah. Kate, would you like to thank your parents?
I actually do want to thank my parents because they've been helping me go pick out all these things for the project, and then they help me do it all.
Great. Well, thank you all so much. This has been wonderful, and I think everybody would agree. It's really been a wonderful moment. Atiya?
I would just want to say one thing. First of all, I want to thank the Children's Museum, because for us as a family, this is kind of coming full circle, because all of my children, and Samaya especially, she actually started like her engaging with other young people through the Children's Museum's Play to Learn program. Like before she was 1 year old, she has been at Play to Learn, and Play to Learn is what helped her kind of develop and be prepared for when she made the transition into preschool. And so I just want to thank the Children's Museum for supporting that program. Secondly, I just want to say to parents and educators that for me, this was a little bit of a struggle. But one thing that I learned is that we have to let children lead and make mistakes, because it's so very easy for me to have come in and said, oh, I have an idea for how you can raise that money, let's do this, without taking into consideration that that might not be the best way for her. That's not how she's going to have full buy-in into the process. So even though I knew maybe the first thing we tried out was not going to work, I needed her to experience that so that way she can step back and say, well, let's try this instead. And so I think for people working with children, that's something that's hard to do at times, but it's so very important is step back, let mistakes happen, let the youth grow from those experiences, because that's when we're going to get some really wonderful things happening.
Thank you so much.
And I just wanted to follow up on the video you saw earlier, and you saw the dirt going into the community bed, and we stopped by the garden this week, and everything that was put in as seeds, they're starting to grow, and there's green everywhere, and it's beautiful. And for me, thinking about coming today, I realized that gardening and building child-centered communities, they're kind of similar in many ways. We can make it as complex as we need to, or we can make it as simple as we need to, and knowing what needs to go to make that garden grow, and what do we need in a community to make these kids grow. I mean, these girls are awesome and amazing, and for the Children's Museum to support that work, and for you all to be here. I had told Kate there was gonna be 20 people, so it's unbelievable that you are all committed and you're here on a Friday, and so thank you for having us be a part of it.
Thank you. Thank you. And anyone who needs a bracelet can see Samaya. She'll be here for a little bit longer? Okay. Thank you.